Hello! First time I've done anything like this, so bear with me. So I thought I'd do a bit of a talk about why we do festivals, because I used to be put off by the cost, if I'm honest. You know, if you look at it as like 150 quid for a weekend away for two of us, you start thinking, well, that's a lot of money. But the more that campsites have put their prices up, I mean, these days, even a basic site, you're talking at least £200. You're talking at least £20 a night, aren't you? So, when you take that into account and the cost of actually doing anything whilst you're away, and the cost of fuel to, do days out from wherever it is you've gone, suddenly 150 quid actually is not a bad deal. So festivals we've done, not many, if I'm entirely honest, and it's something that I really want to do more of. So last year we did Camp Quirky, which was fab. The only thing I will say was their system for getting people into the disabled area was a bit naff, and we wound up parked about as far away from everything as you can get, because they didn't spot the sticker on my windscreen, which was really hard actually. Little man has some mobility difficulties. He's also autistic. He gets very tired very quickly. He has some issue in that he sort of, in crowds and where it's busy, he will sort of fade out and become quite disassociated. So you end up sort of, he just ends up in a world of his own, and it's like a total sensory shutdown, and he has no idea where he's going. He's got no idea where you are. So for us, being miles away, bearing in mind I walk with a walking stick, it is really difficult. So we do have a push chair that we use when we need to, which does make life 100 times easier because I know where he is. He is getting better as he gets older, but it's still, for now, a bit of an issue, to be honest. But trying to push a heavy special needs pushchair over grass is not fun for anybody, let alone for me, who has, quite a lot of, disabilities and all the rest of it. So after that, we went to the Crick Boat Show. Again, major problem in that I hadn't appreciated how far away the camping was from the car park or from the event itself. So I wound up having to drive between the two, which meant that we couldn't do, between that and having a 7-year-old autistic child with us, we couldn't do the evening stuff that we'd have wanted to do. So as much as we'd have liked to go back this year, I mean, our dream would be one day to move aboard a narrowboat. So we felt we missed out. So we said if we did it again, we wouldn't take him with us. And that's fine. Except this summer, my mum and dad were supposed to be away and couldn't have him, but now they're not going. So it's just one of those things. So this year, we've already been to Willowfields, which anyone who was there will tell you was a little bit wet. And I did that thing that they tell you never, ever, ever to do. Never, ever arrive on a campsite with a brand new awning that you have no idea how you're going to put it up. And me being me, that's exactly what I did. Now, in my defence, that's because I'd killed the awning at Crick. We had one of the Decathlon event shelters, and it got caught under the back of the car. So when I drove away from it, it took the event shelter with it and tore it. So I drove down, and on my way down to Willowfields, I bought a new awning, which would have been fine, but when we arrived there, it was pouring with rain. And that rain pretty much, well, it stopped a bit on Saturday, but it continued for most of the weekend. Culminating in Sunday morning, the awning actually flooding and me having to literally get it down as fast as I could because the wind was blowing it inwards. I now know where I went wrong in terms of putting it up. So, yeah, I won't be making that mistake again. And the annoying thing is, had I been able to put it up at home first in decent weather, like I have done subsequently, it'd have been fine. So never, ever, ever do what I did there. Lesson learned, amongst other things. But no, that was one of those weekends where everything went wrong, and it was stressful. But I was having a good time, and I'm really good at letting all the bad things pile up so I forget the good stuff. But you know what? I met some fabulous people, and we had a great weekend, and, wholeheartedly, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So after that, we thought, sod this, and after much, much deliberation, we've decided we're going to go to Van Life Fest. So we're off to Shrewsbury on Friday. So I'm in the throes of packing the car up. So we went to St Helens yesterday to pick up the boot jump from the fabulous Mike at MCS. And I am so pleased with it. It's going to make such a difference. Just having place to put stuff and be able to find it instead of it all being piled up in the back of the car and me thinking, where the hell have I thrown that? It's going to make such a difference. So what am I looking forward to? Meeting new people, getting away from home. I have 4 children, 2 doing GCSEs, 1 doing A-levels, and it is a little stressful at home at the moment. So getting away, yeah, it's really needed. Cade needs to be got away from the stress as much as I humanly can manage. And that's one of the good things about this setup now, is that we can literally just say, right, we're going somewhere. Even if I drive to the seaside. I really struggle with long drives. So for me, being able to drive to the seaside and lie down in the back of the van whilst he plays for a bit and then we go to the beach, that's going to make a difference. That's a life-changing thing really for us. I've totally lost my train of thought now. You'll get used to this. The more of these I'll do, the more you realise I have ADHD. I have no train of thought at all. So yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to just seeing him play and have fun and meet other children. He absolutely adores camping. He's never ever happier. We bring a little tub of Lego, and that's something I will show you. And that'll keep him entertained for hours. So he'll happily do that. We've got colouring, we've got outdoor toys of various types, bubbles, loads of bubbles. Yeah. And just the chance to just experience something again. And some joy that you get at a festival. Oh, and music. I'm a humongous country music fan, so for me, Friday night being a country music night is like heaven. I don't know how much of it we'll be able to see, because unfortunately when we go camping, I have a weird child who likes to go to bed, who gets very excited about the fact that we're going to bed when we're camping. It's obscure. He wants to be, it will nag to go to bed at 6:30 at night. And you're just like, I'd actually quite like to do something. I don't want to sit here. The one thing I find really difficult about camping on my own with him is that once he's gone to bed, there's nobody to talk to. And I'm sat there thinking, And, a lot of people say, oh, I read a book. And I don't have the attention span to read a book. I wish I did. So I'll sit there kind of on my own till it's time to go to bed. And it'll get to about 8:30 and I'll think, sod this, and I'll get into bed. Which, given my chronic insomnia, is probably a good idea. So I'm really hoping we can meet some families and maybe start thinking about, just having a little tribe that we can go away with. And so I'm not on my own, really. My husband camps with us occasionally, but most of the time it's just me and little one. So, and part of that is we've got a dog who doesn't really do crowds. A lot of that is he needs the downtime from work and dealing with Cade and all of the stuff that he has to do, because I can't do a lot of the housework, so he has to do a lot of it. So a lot of the reason I take little one away is to give him a break, because he doesn't shut up, basically. And I'm afraid, as much as I love him, sometimes when you've been listening to Lego Dreams or whatever the latest obsession is on repeat for 3 hours, you need a break, really. So yeah, it's all good. So what am I planning in terms of videos? Well, obviously I will do a tour of the setup. I'll talk about what I've packed, what I've still got to pack, which, yeah. Definitely that. Definitely some stuff from Van Life first. Definitely a video of my son about what he loves about camping. There's so much that I can do. And really my aim with all of this is just to show that you don't need a lot. Car camping is just fantastic, and I wish more places would accept it, because when money's tight, it makes a huge difference. And I can't sleep in a tent anymore. I've tried. I can't get on and off the bed. We've tried camp beds. I can't get comfortable. So for me, this is brilliant. Because I can't afford a camper van. Eventually my plan will be to get a caddy van and turn that into a proper micro camper setup. That's my dream anyway. Whether it ever happens, who knows. So yeah, there'll be all of that, and talk about some honest things about camping with a disability. Yeah, just so much I want to do, and I just want to show off that you don't need a lot. If you've got a car and a bit of basic camping gear, you don't need a fancy setup like this. You can go places, you can do things, and you don't have to spend much money at all. Which, with 4 kids and only one of us working, well, yeah, we need all the help we can get. So lots of things about free days out, cheap campsites, yeah. And we'll look at relative costs of things as well and decide really if things are worth doing or not. So should be interesting. Right, anyway, I'm looking forward to getting this thing properly going and hopefully having decent videos in time. Just give me a chance. I've got a mobile phone and that's it. Right. Speak to you all soon. Bye.